Greetings from Tokyo. Hey there, I'm Joy. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I share my Tesla Model 3 owner experience to help new owners learn more about this car and also for future owners to make an informed decision on their purchases. If you enjoy my videos, please consider subscribing. I am doing this video in Tokyo, Japan. If you saw my video from last week, I am on a business trip where I worked the last 2 days, and today is Saturday and I'm done with my business trip and I get a free day before I leave for Taiwan, where I'm originally from, tomorrow to go see family. And on this day off, I figured why not go visit a Tesla store here in Tokyo, because I found out there's one, and see if I can go check out a supercharger. I am very curious about how Tesla is doing here in Tokyo and then later on in Taipei, Taiwan, because if you're not familiar with Tokyo, the public transportation system is so convenient, very robust, and super easy to use. They have trains and they also have subway systems, and there's so many stations around and you can get to a station very easily. Some a little bit far, like the station that is closest to the hotel I'm staying right now is about a 10-minute walk, but I really don't mind because I enjoy getting some of that exercise. And when I ride the transit system, I feel like I am with the locals. I get to experience what their lives are like riding public transportation with them. And also, you know, I blend in really, really well. So a lot of times people don't know that I'm actually Chinese and I'm not Japanese. So people come up and speaking Japanese to me. I'm like, sorry.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
I don't understand. But whenever I travel around, I would opt for public transportation this way, just to experience a day in the life of the local people. And because the transit system, the public transportation system, it's so well developed here in Tokyo, I am curious to see how Tesla is doing, because I think, I may be wrong, but I think that Uber didn't survive here in Tokyo. They tried it, but ride sharing is just not working because of the public transportation system. And they also have taxis, which is around the same price as Uber. So I am on a hunt for Tesla here in Tokyo and then also in Taiwan. And I'll try and talk to the salespeople at the Tesla store. Hopefully they speak good English and I can communicate with them, and we'll see how this goes. But interestingly enough, during my 3-day stay here so far, I have not really seen any Teslas except for this one, which I spotted on the very first night right after I arrived at my hotel, and I was heading out to grab some lunch and to sightsee a little bit. And while I was crossing the street in front of my hotel, lo and behold, I saw this car coming down the street with the headlights, and I'm like, that looks like a Model S. And then sure enough, it zoomed by and it was a white Model S. So far, that's been my first and only Tesla sighting here in Tokyo. Hopefully, I'll get to see more on my way. And obviously, when I get to the Tesla store and if I get a chance to go to the supercharger, I will be able to see a lot more. But I'm just so curious to see just how many Teslas I'm able to spot here. So let's go. Well, I found it. There's a Model S and a Model X back there, as well as a charger or two. Let me go inside. I just went inside the Tesla store. Unfortunately, I couldn't do a video inside, but I was able to take some pictures and talk to the really helpful salespeople here. They told me that right now there are about 500 Teslas sold here in Tokyo area, and the store opened up about a year ago. And this car has been really popular, so that's really good to know. And I asked them, how do people charge? Oh, this Model X is pulling out, as you can see. I hope I'm not blocking him. So I asked them, how do people charge their Teslas? They said that they would charge it either at home or at superchargers. And I was kind of surprised because a lot of these Japanese, they live in high-rises like apartment buildings, and they don't necessarily have a home like we do in America, where people can install a charger in their garages. The guy said that they actually have a lot of CHAdeMO chargers here in Tokyo, and Tesla automatically gives them a CHAdeMO adapter for all the Model S and Model X sold here in Japan. So it makes it very easy and accessible for them to plug in and charge. There are, I believe, 3 superchargers in the Tokyo area right now. 2 of them are located at hotels, and you need to actually pay for valet parking to go charge and park there. And they have I believe one hotel has 1 charger and one hotel has 2. The one that's actually outside, kind of far away, I don't think I will be able to make it out there. It has 4 chargers. But there is going to be another one just right outside of Tokyo that's being built right now. Not sure when that's going to be completed, but it looks like they're expanding their supercharging network here just in the Tokyo area. But there are other chargers throughout Japan, like in Yokohama and in Nagoya, for example. That was very interesting to hear. If you saw when that Model X was pulling out, you might have noticed that the driver's side here in Japan is actually on the right side versus the left side in the States. And if you are not familiar with Japan, that was the biggest shocker to me when I first visited Tokyo 3 years ago, was that I didn't realize that they actually drive on the right side. So I got to sit in the Model X in the showroom on the right side, the driver's side, which is an interesting experience. But while I was checking out all the instruments and stocks and wheels, I noticed that there is a tiny little screen on the right side, right next to the steering wheel and the stock. There's a screen there also, and I don't remember seeing that when I was in the States sitting in the X. So I asked the salesperson, and he told me that there is a camera underneath the left rear view mirror. There's a camera down here, so that you can see if someone or something is walking around that area to the left front of the vehicle that's farther away from the driver. And this is to being compliant with the Japanese traffic rules or car rules for additional safety features. So I thought that was an interesting modification or change or version that Tesla had done for the Japanese version of their cars. And of course, I had to ask about the Model 3, and they have no idea when they'll start selling the Model 3, but they do know that the Model 3 is the best-selling sedan in the US right now. It's a red-hot car. Hopefully, Tesla can pick up some steam quickly here in Japan, and more people will start to own it and love it. And then one day the Model 3 will get here so that more people can enjoy this amazing car as well.
Whew. What a day. I'm back in my hotel and I hit 12,600 steps, and I haven't gone out to dinner yet. Considering that there are only about 500 Tesla sold here in Tokyo, and I saw one right off the bat on the night that I arrived here. That was pretty good. And then when I went to the Tesla store, I saw 3 more. So, hey, I saw a total of 4 Teslas out of the 500 that they have here. So, not bad. Now I'm gonna go get some dinner, pack my bags, and off to Taiwan we go. Ni hao, welcome to Taipei, Taiwan. I've arrived at my hotel and today is Sunday, January 27th. I am on the 15th floor of my hotel. Now I'll show you what Taipei looks like real quick. I have really full schedule for the next 3 days that I'm here because I am from here originally, as I mentioned before, and I have a lot of families here and a lot of friends here still. So this afternoon really is the only free time that I have in the next few days. So I'm going to go out to the Tesla flagship store here in Taipei and check it out and see how Tesla is doing here in Taiwan and maybe hit a supercharger if it's not too far. So come with me. I've arrived at the Tesla flagship store and it's pretty much right across from Taipei 101, which used to be the world's tallest building like 10, 15 years ago. So check it out. Here's the Tesla flagship store. And across the street is the Taipei 101 building. You can go up to, I believe, 89th floor to the observatory and check out the panoramic view of the entire Taipei city. It's quite spectacular and I highly recommend it. If you ever come out to Taipei, you gotta do it. So here's the Tesla store inside the shopping mall. Right, here's their Model X, the blue one, very nice. And they also have the chassis. And there is a red P100D Model S. And then another Model X back there. I'm sitting in a Model X 100D. Just like in the States, in Taiwan, we also drive on the left side. And here is a map of the island showing where some of the superchargers are. They're getting really convenient now. And unlike Japan, there is no additional little screen down there. So this is exactly like the US model. Okay, I had a chance to visit this Tesla store in Taipei, and from what I've learned, this is the very first store that opened in 2016. So this is going on 3 years now, and they opened up another store during this last 3 years as well. And Tesla is gaining popularity really quickly here in Taipei. The salesperson, Bruce, was very helpful. He told me that just yesterday at one of the superchargers that's a little bit outside of the city, there was a Tesla club meetup where 121 Teslas showed up. And that is fantastic. It's such great thing to hear. People here in Taiwan, they are getting more and more receptive to EVs and to Teslas and to reduce emission because pollution has been a bit of an issue here from before as well. And another thing that I've learned is that they don't really have any issues with charging because you can install a charger in your parking space at the basement of the high-rise apartment buildings, because most of the people here in Taipei, that's where they live, in really high-rise apartment buildings where you have a parking spot all the way down in the garage. He said that Tesla would go out and install the chargers for the owners at their spots. And some of the communities, they do have HOA, and what they do is they may pull together and install some public chargers so that people can rotate and charge overnight. They are able to do this because Taipei is not a very big city and people don't have really long commutes like people in the US or elsewhere. So they don't really need to charge their car every single day. They could rotate once every 3 days or so with the Model S and the Model X's, and people get by just fine. And another thing that I've learned is that they asked me if Tesla locks up the autopilot in US within the city limits on city streets, and I was like, no, we don't. Tesla says that you shouldn't use autopilot on city streets and only use it on the highway, and people have turned it on and they've hit their car and damaged their car that way by driving on city roads. So apparently, I guess there's a special software update that's available here in Taiwan. As soon as the car detects that you're within the city limit and you're not on the highway anymore, it locks up autopilot and you cannot turn it on while you're driving in the city, in urban area. So I thought that was really interesting. Maybe Tesla should do this in the States to avoid, some of the misuse of autopilot, and people may think, this car doesn't work, it sucks and whatever. No, it doesn't. Just you're not using it the right way. You're abusing the system. This is a really great visit here in Taipei. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to go visit the superchargers because they're a little bit outside. It'll take a while for me to get to. But Bruce agreed to take me downstairs where in the basement they have 6 chargers. So let's check it out. So I'm downstairs from the Tesla store, and a very nice salesperson, Bruce, I can say your name, right? He is very knowledgeable, and he shared with me the information about Tesla in Taiwan and Taipei. And he told me that there are actually 6 chargers here downstairs, and this is typically how people would charge. Either at home, they can install a charger at their parking spots in the basement of the building, and they can also charge here. So this is a very special treat. Okay, another fun day hunting for Tesla. And I would call this trip to Tokyo and Taipei a success. I've learned so much about the Asia market, specifically in Tokyo and here in Taiwan, and the variations that Tesla has for the Japanese compliance and also for the Taiwanese compliance for the safety rules. I forgot to mention that Bruce told me that he's been working at Tesla for a little over a year now. He became a fan really early on when he first saw the Tesla back in like 2013, and he loves cars. And he told me that just within the last year or so, when he started working here, he could tell that the questions people ask when they go into the store inquiring about the Tesla has changed. Initially, people really had no idea about EVs, about Tesla, the brand, about the technology that Tesla has. But now people are a lot more informed, and people will ask more educated questions. I guess that's a way to put it. And people are a lot more knowledgeable about EVs and Tesla. So he said that this was a really great trend to see. I did not, unfortunately, spot any Tesla here when I was out walking around on the streets, but maybe because I've been taking the Taipei MRT or the Taipei Metro, and I was walking more in the pedestrian area, or maybe I just wasn't paying attention, but I haven't seen a Tesla yet. So hopefully in the next 3 days that I'm here, I'll be able to spot some. It will be really fun to see. Well, there you have it, my trip report
from Tokyo and Taipei. I hope you enjoy my video, and don't forget to subscribe. Give it a like if you enjoyed it. Make comments down below, ask me questions, and I will do my best to answer. Until next time, have a blessed week.
Oh, so sweet. Very sweet. Oh, that's how he goes to sleep. Oh. Hi. How do you wake up? Ah. Oh my goodness, so cute. This is so cute. It's dancing.
After my Aibo interaction experience, I'm asked to do a survey, and they have this projection onto this surface. I'm just sitting in a cube, and you do the survey, and this is being projected onto just this regular surface. And what you do is just you press on it, and it takes your survey. This is a really great interface, and I would say the interface of the future.